If I were to grab one of those honeybees and squeeze, the honeybee would sting me out of self-defense. If I let the honeybee know about my physical existence in a certain way, squeezing, the honeybee would let me know about her physical presence in a certain way, stinging. It reminds me of a poem I read where they say, Sir Isaac Newton taught us that when we push on the stone pushes back. The poem was titled Natural Law, and it has a lesson that things outside of us have a reality and a physical existence that no matter what we say or what we think, it doesn't change those objective truths and facts. It's a lesson that we need to learn, that things exist outside of our minds. We're trying to learn that lesson as a family. I'm trying to remember that in a digitized age where we have digitized music and digitized books and digital this and digital that, or where we don't really experience animals but we only watch the Discovery Channel, it's more and more important that we get back to our physicality. So on this last vacation we visited an actual bookstore that also had actual music in it, and then in this case we tried to get as physical as we could with the music, and we went to a record shop. It was great to just get outside of ourselves and finger through the records and to smell the dust and the dampness on the dust jackets of the records, and to play some of the music on the record player that was there at the store. I got a chance to listen and play air guitar to Led Zeppelin. And I could hear, when I listened on those headphones, the static and the physical crunch of playing a record. It was great. It was all part of a lesson that there's realities outside of our minds. It's a really important lesson to remember, because that reality outside of us, that creation, tells a story. It tells us that we have a creator, that we have a creator that's kind, that's powerful, that has designed things to operate a certain way, that we ourselves have a design and a purpose. But as you're thinking about that, I bet you know that when we look at the creation, if you're honest enough, you can see that there's something that has gone wrong with the way things work. That we do recognize that we have a design, but we can become confused about that, or things don't operate according to design, that there's something terrible that has taken place within our universe. This is captured well by Annie Dillard. She's one of my favorite essayists. She took a trip to the Florida coast and observed these rising green translucent waves with sharks spiraling and spinning through them, cutting up bait fish. As the bait fish were cut up, their scales left a glittery residue throughout the waves. In that one moment, she observes, we see the power and the gracefulness of the sharks spinning through the waves, the beauty of the green translucence. But in the midst of all of that, the fish have turned into bloody little bites. We see within our creation a story of beauty, power, and glory, but of death and violence. It's really the perfect picture of your own existence and the kind of things that you struggle with. And so creation tells us another story. It tells us that if we're ever going to get out of this mess, if things are ever going to get back to the way that we know deep down they're supposed to be, that we're going to need the Creator's help. This is all just from visiting record stores and observing bees and sharks. In other words, getting out of just our minds and back into the real world. In other words, getting back to the lesson of the bee and to Sir Isaac Newton's lesson of the rock. That when you push on the rock pushes back. That creation tells a story.